Hello. I'm gonna wait a couple of minutes. So this is the new trailer. Well, new to me, obviously. That I traded for a computer. This trailer, I think it was like, if it was cash, it would be like $300. I traded like a $500 computer for it, so I was happy with it. But because I kind of got the lowest price in the whole lot of trailers, it was really rough. And only now have I really started to like sleep in here and make it livable and nice. Cause I love a comfortable bedroom. Like I can this part of this place because I haven't done that yet. Some ideas for it. Let me show you around with the other side of the camera here. And let me turn on the chat thing. Who's first? Flip Titty. I don't think I've seen you before. Alright, so this is like after a couple days. I have this solar. This solar, funny enough, I had two of these systems. Um, One was donated when I first got to the slabs, and the other I had these lights left. It came with like six of them. And it uses 18650 batteries, which I love because they're nice and super interchangeable. You know, that's why I have the back off. I can use it in other devices. So my solar panel wire goes out the window here onto the roof. It's only a very small, like I think it's like a 6 volts, but that is enough to have a radio, light, and USB is like, 5 volts, so it charges my phone really well. It's free during the day, so I charge my little Bluetooth speaker and stuff here, and at night it powers my little light all night actually. So pretty good. I'm a big fan of candles, so I got some candles. Look, it's all fancy Babylonian now. I mean, it's still rough. Like, I'm known for having beautiful bedrooms. If you've seen like what I build, even in Babylon, like I like a comfortable bedroom. So this is still very rough for me, but I'm working on it. Got some pink spray paint, so I'm probably gonna paint all this. It comes with tons of storage spaces, like lots of cabinets and stuff. Um, so I'm probably gonna like paint the whole thing white and nice and clean, Slabbalonian, and then paint the door faces with this spray paint right here, so it could be like colorful. You Traditionally, I like to have like shears and like a princessy bed, and my macho friends out here and in Babylon will ask like, "Why do you sleep in a princess bed?" And they'll laugh a little bit, and then I say, "It's not a princess bed; it's a princess trap." And then it all makes sense. And every once in a while, I catch a princess, so I like to sleep in luxury. Don't judge me. Yeah, this is the Arana abode for now. It's right next to skate park, just off the slab. So let's see. There are the skate parkians. So we had this windstorm last night, and we built this structure, and it blew down. We had like a 50-mile-an-hour gusts in the middle of the night. They actually rebuilt all these tents today. Everything was like flat in the morning. I was so happy to actually finally have a trailer because it didn't affect me that much for the first time. I've lost so many houses to sandstorms and stuff. Uh, I did splurge for this bed new because, like I said, I like a comfortable sleeping environment. So I got the like floor model at Walmart for $99 and have a comfy bed and a furry pillow, all my sunglasses and whatnots. I put up my little toiletry cabinet. Still got a lot of cleaning to do. It's pretty rough in here. Can't believe I'm showing you guys my little mess in here, but you should have seen the before of this. I bought this rug in the thrift store, $5. Cut it with a razor. So this whole room I've spent maybe $9 on. Oh, I got my little VR glasses there so I can drive my spaceships at nighttime because that's fun. I don't know who this kid is. They came with the trailer. I'm gonna put some pictures of my friends or family in there, I'm sure. But I just left it up. Is that creepy? I don't know those children in those photos, but I want the picture frames. I have like a little food storage area here with all my yum yums. I've been throwing clothes in these things. I won't even show you in there. I purposely took that door off. I'm gonna take this other door off too to make more shelving for the lab area. So this is the lab area. I actually have a ton of equipment outside that I need to bring in here. This is like the hackerspace area. And I'm gonna just put a door here so that I have my private little living area. And at night I can open the door and have the whole space to myself. But in the day I can have people in here, you know, using my soldering stations and like all my equipment. And I have like, and this is only a little bit of it. I actually haven't unpacked a lot. So what is that? That looks like an Arduino board. You guys know what an Arduino board is? I'm sure some of my people know what an Arduino board is. Very, very useful. There's a Raspberry Pi, right? Boom, Raspberry Pi. Super useful. I have all kinds of microelectronics. I keep them in the plastic. See if I can get this to focus. There we go. Build something awesome. So open source hardware packs. We got more boards. There's that. That's like an Arduino Micro, the smaller version of it. Some breakout board. See, people sleep, but I know what to keep. There's a IC kit, low power, great for off-grid applications. I have so much more of this stuff to sort through. There's a voltage meter. You hook the leads back here and it'll tell you the voltage through the system. Some micro LEDs, that'll be fun. So I'm gonna get that robot from out there on the slab and put him in here, probably in the corner there in another table, and then I could like work on his systems and give him eyes and ears and all that stuff. Oh, I need this other light. This is a 3.7 volt solar light. This is just my temporary solution. I've actually done this in a lot of my labs. Whoever doesn't know, I've done this kind of hackerspace. Now it's got to be the 9th or 10th iteration of it. I've done them in Manhattan and the Bronx and Brooklyn, storefronts and warehouses and art galleries, all kinds of. This is kind of my thing. And then I tend to spend several weeks or several months after I build a lab making something great in lab, like Luna or neural networks or, you know, new methods of voice and speech recognition and all that stuff. I'm a super nerd. Stefan is a nerd too, and so is Val. We actually have like multiple engineers here. Like, I've worked at Google. Stefan has worked at Google. Val's like a gangster network engineer and sysadmin and stuff. So like within 50 feet of me, I have a half dozen legit hackers like that. This is why I'm not an atheist. Like those kind of things don't happen by accident, you know? So we have another hackerspace outside, and we're tying my hackerspace, Val's hackerspace, and Stefan's hackerspaces all together and making the super space. So see, this is another. I like the gypsy tent too, but if you would have seen the 50-mile-an-hour winds that we had, like people's houses got blown down last night. Like that structure, we put up an amazing structure. And it was like they raised a barn essentially out of some wood we were donated, and it was so great. And we turned it into a movie theater, and everything was beautiful. And last night we had 50-mile-an-hour gusts, and one of the trusses on it, so now we have to put it up again. But it's an extreme environment here, and I've had several houses destroyed. So I just want to see if this other see, because that gives me light free day and night, which is awesome. But I'm not sure that this other light is going to work. This thing is really finicky. I've actually rebuilt several of this same kind of model. They're great because the parts are interchangeable and stuff. All right, give me a second. I got that 3.7 volt in. See, I think this light is done for, but these lights serve me so well. These are my camping lights when I like biked across America and did the Appalachian Trail and stuff. Like, this is like a Chinese thing, but it's so light. I mean, the whole thing is like maybe a pound and 1.2 or something. So it's great to throw in your backpack. And if you're like me and you have the 18650s around, this thing is amazing because I have days worth of power. And then I have my off-grid thing down there. I'm gonna do a review on this beast one day. Like, this was an off-grid solar briefcase made by Renogy. It's actually pretty rare. It was like a prototype. I don't know why this thing didn't catch on because it is fucking amazing. I've dropped this thing off my electric bike at like 25 miles an hour several times. I thought it was dead several times. Somebody nerfed the other solar panel while I was trying to fix it. So like, it's a briefcase actually, and it had a top. And somebody nerfed the little solar panel from in the top of it. So now I don't charge this directly with solar. But this thing is so badass. Like, that's the input side is the same. This thing is so badass that I could put a 100-watt solar panel on top of my trailer, plug it into this, and it acts as charge controller, inverter. It has like a 26 amp hour battery, lithium inside. Guess what it's made of? It's made of those 18650 batteries. So that's really nice and like interchangeable. I used to have this on the back of my bike, and I would unfold the solar panel, charge in rural areas. I mean, it would probably take me like 2 or 3 whole days to charge because this battery capacity is really heavy. But any Starbucks, I just bring this in my backpack, or any library, and I just charge it. And then I plug my electric bike into this and charge my other battery. And that would get me, this thing lasts 2 hours on my electric bike, which is significant. That's like, maybe 30, 40 miles. That's how I was able to do 100 miles a day a lot of times. So I'm kind of cheating. I mean, it is hard. I also carry 300 pounds or so on the back of my rack. Like, I'm not an ultralight traveler. I'm kind of an ultra heavy traveler, and I take a lot of technology with me and stuff. So the electric assist is good, but I'm really using it to its potential there. How's Ollie? Ollie's great. Ollie's been spending a lot of time with Kevin. So we kind of all take turns being, Ollie's daddy right now. Kevin is his daddy, and it's so cute. Like, Kevin loves him so much, and he's been sleeping in there. But yeah, we love Ollie. He's a great dog, man. He's really coming along. Like, at first he didn't get along with other dogs and stuff, and he didn't listen. And now it's not like he listens, but now he knows he's not listening. Now he's just like a mischievous dog, and he's getting along with the other dogs and stuff, and the puppies, and he's even been to Oasis a couple times, and we haven't taken him to the range yet. That's kind of like the real test of a dog. So yeah, that's my little bedroom. Just starting, so don't judge too hard. I need to get some paint for these walls, and yeah, pink spray paint the door faces. I have some stencils and stuff, so I'll probably do something fun and artsy. I'm definitely gonna have to do something with the ceiling, because that's the worst part of this trailer, is the ceiling. I mean, it's solid, it's just like yucky. So I'm gonna have to scrape and fix that up. I don't plan on living here forever or even for long, so I'm not gonna put too much work into it, but I do want a comfortable place to have a base of operations here. So I just started today on the hackerspace here. And there's like, some robotics kits and stuff. Oh, these Magic the Gathering cards need to go with the other Magic the Gathering cards. I have this. Well, people tend to give me a lot of laptops and phones because I fix them and give them away and recycle them and repurpose them and all that stuff. So I actually have like several phones in a bag there. I've given away like 5 phones in the last 2 months. So what I have left is kind of odd and end parts, but people can't afford that kind of stuff out here. So I enjoy it as a hobby, and I like to help people. I don't charge them for it. Usually they give me something, I mean, indirectly or whatever, but if somebody needs a phone to stay in touch with their family in the outside world, then I could do that without no cost to me. Why wouldn't I do that? Yeah. I got to sort through all these wires. You have no idea because this is the empty. I actually have enough equipment to fill this entire space. That's what I'm in the process of doing right now, going one at a time, one at a time. Let me read the comments really quickly. Where do you get these trailers from? There are lots of them around here. Some people will buy a new trailer and leave an old trailer and just kind of dump it, knowing that it'll be picked up by the community, or they'll sell it really cheap. I got this one from a guy who like collects them and resells them. That's what he does. So he had, I don't know, 6 or 8 trailers on the lot. It was like on a farm in Calipatra down there, a couple towns over. And, I was like, well, I'm super poor and like, do you have anything like, what's the cheapest trailer you have basically? And this was it. So, good enough though. Like, this is the first time I've been out here. I'm in my 9th month now. So I've been out here 9 months. And, I've slept outside the entire time. It's only like now it's winter and it drops to like the 30s at night sometimes. I mean, I slept in a tent up until like, this is all new to me. But it's fine for now, for like temporary shelter. And wait till you see what I build in that hackerspace. So it's not my first time at the rodeo. I've done these kind of maker spaces all over the United States. So I'm excited about it, to be able to get back to my art form, which is, artificial intelligence, holograms, machine learning algorithms, neural nets, all the super nerdy stuff. And there are people out here who speak that language. That blows my mind. Like, how many engineers are out here really? Like, holy shit, It's just, this is a place where innovation happens. Like, not in a cubicle. Even I've, like I said, I've been to inside of Google. I've been inside of Samsung. I've been inside of a lot of big companies that are, I'm not knocking it like it's not a great place to work, because it is, but you get paid to take a shit, you know? You like have to design by committee. Like out here is just like prove it, build it. And that's what we do every day. Like, check this little guy out. So this is a USB from like a phone, right? And you take the positive and negative leads from that. Is sucking USB power, and on this strip of copper, and then it's sealed with like a plastic laminator. Anyway, you plug this into any USB port, whether that's like a phone battery or a laptop or whatever, or wall plug, and this will heat to like 105 degrees. So not hot enough to actually burn anything. You could touch it, it's just warm. So I use this a lot when I was camping on my bike, like when I was bike touring, because I would just put like a battery pack, like you would charge your phone with, on this, and that would last me like all night in my bottom of my sleeping bag, and my feet would be super toasty. Necessity is the mother of invention. Like, you're not gonna make that, in a cubicle, because you have no need. It's warm in there. When you're cold, you do shit like that. You guys find this exciting at all? Did I ever finish putting up the shade structure? Yes, the shade structure blew down last night in the fucking windstorm. So they're rebuilding it. It blew down last night because we had 50-mile-an-hour winds out of nowhere in like 3 o'clock in the morning. There's a bunch of 18650 batteries in there. Robotics controller. So, okay. Output some. Battery box. Oh, yeah, I have a lot of equipment to bring in. I have several working laptops. All of these laptops work to one extent or another. Power cords are becoming an issue. There's a Microsoft Surface with a cracked screen, but it works. Oh, this is a really nice little doohickey there. I gotta dust them off. This is has been my everyday worker there. And then this one's just for fun or parts. It's actually a super old MacBook. I'll probably do something artsy with that. But the other ones work. That one works. That one works. That one works. That one works. I got another one outside in the robot. Oh, I'm so happy with my bedroom, man. Like, I still have so much more work to do, but I want to have a safe, warm bed. It means everything. Yeah, let me read some comments. Nobody wants to talk right now. Good, that's better than trolls. Oh, so Dragonetta, you left your little mark on Slab City. The skate park dog. You got to name the skate park dog. We should send you a skate park t-shirt. I have 3 of the small Mr. Buddy heaters that have stopped working. Some people will repair them out here. Yeah, that's not like generally my forte, but I heard good things about the Mr. Buddy system. I bet there are people out here who could fix it. There are all kinds of mechanics and engineers and out here. All right, let me put this camera somewhere for a second. Look at this silly earring I found. I got this stuff precariously here, so let me set that down and hope it works. All right, that actually looks pretty decent, don't it? Yeah, okay. Move this bag out of the way. Hi, Deborah. Deborah, did you see inside of my trailer when I first got it? Because it was wrecked and destroyed. And now I have a full bedroom, and we're working on a hacker lab right here. And it's awesome. Sorry I didn't see you at the range, Deborah. I was a little distracted by a pretty young lady who also helped me decorate this place. Alrighty, so I have several of this kind of thing. Like I said, a lot of people donate electronics to me because I use them all the way down to the bone. I recycle them, and I try to do good for people and provide technology to people who need it. For example, I have a list of people who need phones, a list of people who need laptops, and I try to fulfill those, right? Like, my friend is a writer. He wants to write on the computer. He has a big computer. I have a tiny little guy that I've been using here. This guy, he's small. Perfect for Dale. So I gotta charge this one, put my stuff on another one, and then Dale gets this one, and then he gets crossed off the list. I think Chris is next on the list after that. So, it's a very barter and gift economy out here. So I don't charge people generally for that kind of stuff. But they'll like smoke you out, feed you, or maybe like Dale's a bike mechanic. Like, if I got a flat tire, he could totally fix it for me or get me a new wheel or whatever. And he's not going to charge me for that, so why would I charge him? I like the culture out here that's like that. All right, let me see those comments here. I'm going through this tub of thing here. Yes, I have a PayPal. I only use it for the skate park too. So, and a couple of people have donated, and that's how we have a generator. We have a wheelbarrow. Like, we're definitely not getting rich or anything, but yeah, we have a PayPal, and I will totally show you exactly what we spend it on. Or some people say they want it spent on a certain thing, then we do that. Like some people are like, we want to buy you a pump for the water. Then we will show you, like, here's the pump we bought. So I already went through this box. So this is kind of just like a lot of miscellaneous electronics left in here. I kind of took all the immediately usable stuff. But I'm going to leave this under my storage over there. And I have another place to put here. My only hack for good is the first thing you should know about me. Generally, I am working against the people who you would traditionally think of as a hacker. But that's our word. So when I say hacker, I mean hack into these machines and make them useful again for people who need them, or make them do something useful, not like breaking people's bank accounts or nonsense like that. I don't do that kind of stuff. I'm very well versed in that kind of thing because I have a whole corporate career protecting against those kind of people. But no, not hacker in that sense. A hacker, you got to go back to the 2600, which is the group that kind of invented the modern term of hacking. And it was a bunch of people who took things apart and repurposed them in ways that weren't intended by the creator of the device. And that's the definition of hacking. That's what the people who made the word defined it as. So hacking into people's Facebook accounts, hacking in Facebook. If Facebook spends millions of dollars on corporate security, like, you would need a major operation with several professional people to hack Facebook. Like, guessing someone's password or, whatever, it's not hacking. And neither is stealing. That's not hacking either. 2600 is the shit. Yes, you should definitely check 2600 out on Facebook. They've been around since the 60s. Some of my heroes in there. Well, I even know a couple of them in real life, which blows my mind. When did I get that earring? I found it this morning. I found that earring. I found it. Oh, Dog Lips is in here. Where is he? I didn't see him. What did he say? That wasn't true. Why you guys gotta beef in the live streams all the time? Why can't we all just get along? There's a lot of channels you could watch if you're not into me or anyone else around here. I don't see anything from Douglas here. I hear Deb saying he's lying about something, but I don't see him in here. When did I miss it? So yeah, a long way to go. There's the extra parts. Now I have to go box by box by box and sort through stuff and get situated. Doobie 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 doo. Next Tupperware. As long as you have a non-mechanical hydraulic switch, right? If it's a pedal that you push and it pushes gel hydraulically, then it's hard to hook that to a like digital output. But if it's a button that you press that activates the hydraulic, then you just program the button into your system, and then you could press the button virtually, and then you'll activate the hydraulics. I hope that makes sense. Am I buffering? Yeah, I don't have great signal out here, actually. I'm surprised it's live streaming at all. I have this keyboard for parts. A bunch of speakers. We're working on an analog old school stereo system in here. Let's put these out on the tray for now. I'm a battery freak, so I always have batteries. So a lot of the stuff that I have, like, even though I try to protect it in plastics and Tupperware and stuff, sorry, it's such a harsh environment out here that, like, my electronics have been through flash floods and all kind of shit. See, that's yucky. Look at that hole there. I gotta fix that. This is the worst part of the ceiling that I have to fix here, but it's like solid. I just have to. But this is only a couple of days' work, so I think I'm doing pretty good. All right. It's a USB temperature sensor, so that can go in the fine electronics. If I can coil, who did that? I didn't do that. I remember this guy, programmable LED. This is a Bluetooth thing. Yeah, I love hackable little parts. All right, I got another battery. Battery clip. Here's a circuit tester. A servo motor. Guess that's some scrap gears and DC motor. And that is junk. That's one more down. Let's see what else is in here. We have some. Oh, let me get rid of this trolley guy. Hold on. How do I do that? I'm gonna like hold on his name or something. Yeah, I need to make like a couple of you guys admins on here. Like maybe Lynn or Dragonetta or Deborah or all of you guys. I'm trying to delete this guy and it's not working. There we go. Hide user on this channel. Okay, bye-bye. It's easier for me to block them for them to make another account, so I'm happy to have that war of attrition, you know? Anyway, it's so stupid. I don't understand why people like waste their time. I wouldn't watch anyone I don't like on YouTube. Like, I don't get the appeal of that. Anyway, moving on. I might be able to fix Peter's electric bike with this. It's for pulses power to the back wheel or the front wheel. That's useful. Alrighty. Anything else useful in the box? Some erector pieces are useful, and all these speakers. That's useful. Yes, an intact wine glass. That's nice too. Let's see what we got here. It's like a 80 gig hard drive, solid state SATA connection. That's useful. Look, here's another one. What's this one? 160 gigs. Alright, solid state SATA connector. There's another intact wine glass. So I actually play the wine glasses. That's why I collect them. Now here I'm getting to my good RC and robotic stuff, I think. There we go, yeah. Boom, rechargeable batteries for drones and RC cars and planes and stuff. That's the good stuff right there. You don't like my singing? I'm practicing. I don't play the range. I do good at karaoke here. I've been practicing a little bit. It's good to learn new things that you're bad at. I'm good at a lot of stuff. I like to find stuff that I'm bad at. Here's another 18650. Another 18650. Wiring. Another intact speaker. Battery. Another battery. Another battery. Lots of batteries. God. Oh, this hard drive seems damaged. I'm gonna have to hang that one out and see if I can salvage it. Two MacBook Pro USB-C chargers. Those will go to Trade Circle or eBay probably. Another battery pack. Giant carabiner, always useful. Oh, mattress cover, that'll work. Throw that in the bedroom. Another old piece of camping gear of mine from my Appalachian Trail days. Which is my solar shower. I'll just leave that in the corner somewhere. Let's see, the comments. I have blisters on my lips. I don't. They're just dry. I'm super dehydrated. I've been working all day. Look, my lips are just dry, people. No sores, just dry lips. Living in the desert. The driest county in the United States. Okay, well, these glasses need to go in the washing pile, which is outside. I'm gonna have to do the outside. I have a really nice outside space too. It's like a front yard kind of thing. Okay, I have a top for that box, don't I? Yes. That's storage. And go under the table. It's working out. It's working out. I'll go get the other one from outside. I don't have a mirror, so... Oh, actually, I do have a mirror now. So much work still to do, but I've done a lot. And that's just in here. That's not including skate park right there, which is also a lot of work. But man, these guys have been tremendous. Like the people who live here, they're rocking it. Al, Merritt, Kevin, Amanda, everybody's just immensely helpful. Jaden is a godsend. If it wasn't for them, I'd just be some creepy dude living on the side of skate park. But they made it into a community, you know? We've had a couple of knuckleheads, like, you know, we've had to ask a few people to not come back, you know, and that's a hard thing to do. But sometimes you have to for the good of the community. Like, if you have one person who's like violent or stealing or whatever, like, I don't even care about people's addictions. Like, that doesn't bother me. It doesn't automatically make you a bad person because you're an alcoholic or whatever, or you're a drug addict or whatever. But as long as they're not outright stealing or being violent or, you know, so unpredictable that they're dangerous to anyone else, then it's not my business, you know? But I always say this because I always try to remind myself, like, I could leave here anytime and do relatively well somewhere else, like, no problem, right? I could go back to Babylon tomorrow. Some of these people have nowhere else to go. This is like the last stop for them, you know? And who am I to, like, kick them out of their home? Like, I wouldn't do that to people, you know? So I try to be super tolerant of people out here, and it's taught me a lot because, like, I was raised around lots of drug addicts in my neighborhood in the Bronx and in Harlem, and it was never attractive to me. Like, you know, I don't know, some suburban kids are like, oh, rock stars do heroin. I'm like, no, they don't. It's the smelly lady in the hallway who smells like piss and has no teeth, and I have to step over her and she's gross. So it's never like, yeah, I want to do heroin. I saw it up close and personal, like people die and everything, you know. Meth too, all of that stuff. But out here, like, I've actually, like, grown to respect people, you know, despite, like, their flaws or their addictions or whatever. Like, the tweakers have saved my life out here as much as they've been a problem for me. Like, you can't judge every person, you know? Like, so that's growth for me. That's new. You know, I always stayed far away from people who did hard drugs, and out here you can't always stay away from them. That forces you to deal with them as human beings, and I'm very grateful for that. You know. It took some of the stigma away from me. Oh, so much work to do. I'm just gonna do it little by little, but at least I have a space that I can like comfortably sleep in. And it's not on the skate park slab, it's next to the skate park slab. So that makes it nice private property, and I can invite people and stuff, and I don't have to worry about it. But I still live, I can step 10 feet away and be in the skate park, and so I can still work there and, you know, participate in the community there. So I think this is a happy medium for now. I think it would be a good place to survive the summer as well. I'll evaporative cool this place, cover the walls with fabrics, and spray them down. I did that really successfully before on the canal, and that dropped the temperature 20 degrees or more. You touch the walls. If you wet your walls down, right, like you just put blankets and quilts and sleeping bags, whatever fabric you can, around your house, and you just get a sprayer, like a 1 gallon sprayer, and you mist the whole thing. If you touch the wall afterwards, it's cold, and if you sleep in the middle of the room, those walls are cold. It's like, it's almost as good as an AC, I'm going to say. We used a 12-volt fan to circulate the air, and that was it. Like a 12-volt fan and the evaporative cool room. This is a small enough space that I can get away with it. It's cold right now, but I'm super comfy in that bed. Like, I have lots of sleeping bags and stuff like that. Like, I was sleeping in a tent in the cold, so I appreciate the wind being off of me. I see I gotta ban a lot of people in here, huh? I don't get what the what the fascination is. Yeah. Well, we'll get rid of them. In the meantime, enjoy, have fun. Enjoy. Taking a vitamin. So after I kind of get this where I want it with the hackerspace going on, a soldering station, battery charging stations, multiple laptops, uh, fine tools, Um, then I'm going to actually build a little bathroom in the corner here. We're also in the middle of building a huge outhouse for a skate park, which is like, I think, halfway done. Um, but there was actually this area here used to be a little kitchen area. So it's still, you see, I have a piece of wood there covering like where the plumbing goes out and everything. So thinking to take a wood and go there and go here, and this corner will actually be a little bathroom, right? And I can plumb out to a septic through that hole that already exists there. I'm gonna hang like a 5 gallon or 3 gallon water jug here, just like that solar shower. In fact, maybe I'll even use that solar shower, right? That would make a decent bathroom sink. So you clean this out, you fill it up with water. This holds like 5 gallon capacity, great. And then I have the little shower head on the bottom, and you can wash your hands in the bathroom or whatever, wash a dish to eat or whatever. Heck, I may even put a shower in there. Why not just like have a little bathroom that you can use as a bathroom or as a shower, right? That might be fun. We'll see. Little comfortable sleeping area. So nice. And you can have a little bit of luxury in the slabs. I have my little list here of things that we need. All right. Throw rugs, pillows, 3 gallons of white paint, 2 gallons of colored paint, 12-volt batteries, another solar panel, a small charge controller, an inverter. A lot of this stuff we're also working on. Like Stefan is going to get the inverter. Garbage bags. I got the broom and the dustpan. I didn't get the brush. A portable clothes washer. Camping toilet. I was thinking of making that bathroom that I just talked about out of a camping toilet. Paint brushes for painting, folding chairs, shelves, nails, flooring. Oh yeah, I only have one door on this trailer. I gotta build another door. Some of this stuff is repeated because different people shout out different stuff for the list. Nails, lumber, concrete. We need another pump. I think we have another pump on the way. My friend said he would send us a small gas pump, so hopefully we get that soon. We don't have any gas cans. That would be useful. Folding tables. Like, yeah, I need at least one more, and skate park needs a couple, so we could use like 3 or 4 folding tables. Chalkboard paint is a game changer. If you guys don't know me, I'm a teacher, literally, and I work really well on a chalkboard. So if I could like paint a big piece of wood out here with chalkboard paint, that would help a lot. I also design like my algorithms and my AI on chalkboards, like the mind maps and the outline, and then I code it section by section. I mean, why not think big? I really want an electric guitar. I really want a PA system because we're like events out here. You guys see like how many music events and things like we roller skates and bikes and skateboards we always need. We have some, especially thanks to Shayna. She like went to the thrift store and got us a whole bunch of them, and then other people donated a couple, or we bought a few cheap. Like, but I like to have the like little skate rental shop where we don't charge people, but it's just like, come and enjoy the park even if you didn't bring your board with you or you didn't bring your skates with you or whatever. Like, that's fun. And I'm really happy that people are using the park like every day. Yesterday there were like so many kids here. Like, that just makes me like so happy to see that people feel safe to bring their families here and hang out, and they think it's a cool place and stuff. And we had a scene of a movie filmed here the first couple of weeks we were here, and now a music video. Some people drove up yesterday in like really fancy cars, and we're like, "Can we film a music video here next week?" So we're like, "Hell yeah, of course you can." I like that kind of stuff. I support the arts, all forms: film, theater, painting, music, poetry. Like, it just happy to be a part of that stuff. I guess that's why I worked in like television and in music for so long. Like, my career is mostly in that: record companies and television and TV shows and movies and video games. Are we having fun yet? Did anyone see the blood moon? No, I actually heard of it, and I missed it. I did not see the blood moon last night. I'm actually pretty disappointed about that. Work or jail, that's all there is. You have proved him wrong. Um, I think this society here is a more sustainable and more natural way to relate to people than what we here call Babylon. Like that is not sustainable. That consumerist culture, um, I mean, look at like I lived in New York City and I lived in some nice places, man. Like nicer places than a lot of like people I know. And even if you go like Park Avenue or Central Park South, the Millionaire Rows or whatever, you have people locked in a building with a security guard and doorman in the front, and then they lock their doors in their individual like little monkey cages, you know. And it's like they don't know their neighbor 40 feet away. Like I know every neighbor within a mile of here, for good and bad, you know. Like I'd much rather have it that way. So yeah, that means you have to deal with people's problems and people's bullshit and people's addictions sometimes. But that's the right thing to do anyway, right? Like why, in New York and LA and places, they just like leave the homeless on the side of the road. Like you could see an elderly, mentally ill person and walk right past them. And here, they don't walk right past you. You know, you deal with bullshit. I'm willing to deal with people's bullshit. You know, it's the least I can do. Hi, Freeman. I love you. Finally got a chance to do a little live stream. Did you see my house, Freeman? Did you come inside? Or you haven't seen the latest, though. Alright, got my little Babylonian bedroom and stuff. Sunglasses, my little medicine cabinet with all my things. I got hackerspace forming on this side. Be it ever so humble, there's no place like home. Yeah, that's definitely a fake Joanne. I know Joanne, and Joanne is a sweetheart. We know who the fake people are. I'll ban all these people after the live stream. Oh no. Man, like half of skate park's tents were blown down last night because of that huge windstorm. It's pretty bad. I feel a little guilty because this is the first windstorm that I had indoors in. So, it just blew around my outside and messed like my tarps up or whatever. But I remember those days, my tent having to start all over again because of a windstorm or a rainstorm. Oh, I didn't realize I was zoomed in. What the heck is that about? Stop. I need a fundraiser. Who, me or Freeman? Yeah, so I got a lot of work to do in here for sure. But coming along. Man, I don't even want to show you the outside. The outside is wrecked, especially after that windstorm. So unfortunately, because I'm on a slab right next to skate park, when we cleared that slab, it was really dirty and really messed up, let alone the pool itself, right? So we were like, okay, let's get this clean. And rather than cart all the stuff out, we just piled the garbage on the sides of the slab. And then we're like, okay, after we get the park back restored, then we'll go around the park and do the perimeter and clean everything up. Unfortunately, I didn't realize at the time when I was like asking the neighbors and looking around for a place to put my trailer here. The best place to put it was right where we put the garbage. So I kind of dropped the trailer like in the middle of the garbage, and now I have to clear that whole area out. And it's a ton of work besides all of my regular skate park responsibilities, But look how close I am to the slab right there. I'm like steps away. It's my little Shangri-La there. There's Kevin. Taking video, Kevin. Rock star. Rock star from Omaha. That's Ollie's new daddy. Everyone loves Ollie on YouTube.
Fair enough, all right.
That's Waldo. Here's our mobile solar system, which Stefan designed and executed. Boom, two huge solar panels on the back of a bike trailer. That's what I'm talking about. Look at this guy. Unfortunately, our house blew down last night. 50-mile-an-hour gusts. It's heartbreaking, but it happens. They're all in there eating peanut butter and jelly about it. Yeah, our poor structure blew down last night. It's all right. We'll rebuild it. Our hammock haven top also came off up there. It was a really, really like sudden and brisk windstorm. But it's okay. It's just tarps. It's just scrap wood. We'll rebuild it, and we'll build it stronger. There's our industrial generator that we use to power tools or pump water out of the pool, or emergency electricity, or for events, right? Because it costs gas, so we don't just run it on willy-nilly. But if we have like a party here or something like that, then somebody can plug the guitar amps in or a sound system, and it's super convenient. Plus, just in an emergency, we can generate power. It's life and death sometimes, really. Like, we have elderly people here and stuff, and God forbid we have to get them in an AC conditioned room real quick. We can do that with a generator. And that's actually happened to me several times out here, where there's people of all ages out here and all different healths. Like, there are people out here amputees, there are people with cancer. It's good to be able to have some basic services in case somebody needs it. This is Val's toolbox. He's so handy. This is not an alcoholic paradise. For those of you who don't know, I like to play glass musical instruments. I make my own, so I'm looking for the right combination of bottles with the right combination of tones. It's kind of the shrine to booze there, huh? You could use my PayPal. We have some. I just have to. I don't know how to type it in. Maybe somebody could type my PayPal in for me into the chat. It's xhtmlguru@gmail.com. That's my PayPal email address. And 100% of things that people send are used for either what that person sent it for. So you could directly tell us what we should buy with it, or I'll show you, and we'll cross things off our list, and I'll show you as that happens. But I don't keep any of it. I take my Buddhism very seriously, and I'm not about keeping money for myself. I'm about investing it in people and in community resources. See, look at that wheelbarrow over there. That's the last person who sent us something from PayPal, and that generator was the person before that. So I don't count on anything. I don't try to spange on here, but if people want to help, that's amazing. Like, it's not helping me. Like, how many people we support here. Love out loudest. Nobody asked me how my day went last weekend, so I guess nobody cares about that. There's Amanda's little camp back there. Yeah, it goes to the skate park. XHTML Guru GURU at gmail.com. Yes, it goes directly to the skate park. I have the card in my pocket, and we go to Home Depot, and I'll even take a picture of the receipt or put it on live stream if anybody has any doubts of what we're spending the money on. Haha, who's the lucky guy? That's funny, Margaret. Could have been a guy, you never know. Love is love is love is love is love. I just happen to fall in love with women. There's Val, unsung hero of skate park. There's Stefan, mad scientist. Closed door. Okay. If you say so. Can somebody write down my PayPal in the chat? Because I can't write it from here. xhtmlguru@gmail.com. Skate park day schedule. So what's today? Today's Martin Luther King Day. Where's my Martin Luther King pin? Oh, it's on my hat. I gotta go get it. I had a Martin Luther King pin for today. Because I was born in Harlem and I gotta represent. I'm legit gonna set up a Thunderdome for tonight. Because there are two of my friends who I won't name who are at each other's throats. And I want them to like figure that shit out. So we're gonna have Thunderdome for real tonight. Then tomorrow, D&D Magic Day. Nerp's coming over. There's Tyler's guitar. Maybe I'll ask him if I can practice since my guitar is I bought a really good guitar really cheap. Unfortunately, that means it needed some work. But fortunately, I have so many guitars that they are helping me restore it. So we have weight on both sides here. I had a little buzz in the strings. So we raised the bridge at the top just a little bit. Hopefully that works. Like we pulled it out, put an insert in and put it back in. And then we're trying to like slowly bend the frame back. So this is a common problem with guitars in the desert because they should be relatively humid. Some people will like put it in a garbage bag and like spray it down. I've even heard of people giving their guitar a bath because it's not supposed to be flat. It's like supposed to have some curve in the bell there. Otherwise it gets twangy. So this was a twangy guitar, but I took it anyway because it was like dirt cheap and I'm dirt poor. So hopefully I have a guitar to practice on soon. I really want to get an electric. That's why the electric is on my list. That's my dream instrument actually, but I figured it would be really good to get like real technique down by learning acoustically, you know, and then apply that to electric rather than jump straight to electric. But our poor hammock hostel, we got to put the roof back on. It blew off. That actually survived a few windstorms. But last night was just over the top. Our address is 421 Low Road. When you're driving by skate park, this is the road, and then the main road is right up there. It's like the road where you get into Slab City. I love it that there's a skate park sign out there. It was here for a long time. I love it that this is an iconic space, and I feel really good, like being part of the restoration of it. And people come visit every day, and people live here, and look how much. Alice Flower and White Wolf. One of our tents that we rotate guests in and out. Like different people have slept in there, or some people sleep in their cars. Then we have another small tent here. I'm not even sure who was in there. That's a new tent, so I'm not sure who stayed in there. Then we had the big structure, which blew down last night, and that big 5-room tent. There's our guest cabin there, which is like 8 by 10. But it's just look how much civilization is here. Maybe it doesn't look like much, but there was nothing here before. It was just, at least when we got here, you know, and people were a little scared to come here. And I had friends like Spencer who love skating, who came and skated it and got hurt. Like, oh fuck, there's like glass and hypodermic needles on the pool. Like, I understand it's a hardcore skate, but that was a little too hardcore. But that made me really happy that like more young people are coming to, that people feel safe and each get a box and you saw my snack drawer. I showed it a little while ago in the live stream. Like I have a little snack cabinet with my favorite goodies and stuff like that. And but yeah, for the most part, we community meals. Somebody cooks. Um, you know, on the very slowest days, we only cook once or twice. Oftentimes, we're cooking continuously around the clock because there's a lot of us and new people come and people get hungry at different times and people are on different schedules and etc. So the good thing about that is because we have a public kitchen and we established public stoves where people could cook, and we have multiple grills and little things like that. And we have the pantry and ingredients, and because of that, people come and give us their ingredients, right? Like a lot of people out here don't have access to fuel or access to a stove, so they go to the food pantry and they give us all the ingredients with the understanding that like you come and you eat whenever you're hungry. And we even do that with notoriously bad people. Like I won't name any names, but there are people who are banned from virtually every camp in the slabs, and we feed them. Like I try to keep them under control as much as I can. And there is such a thing as you fuck up too hard, and then you won't be welcome here either. But it's very hard for me to say no to a hungry person. I've been hungry myself. Like I grew up in poverty, and my parents taught me that. My mom always took in any animal or any kid because she always says like, just one more piece of chicken. The hardest one is the first one. Hi, Half Pint. Oh, Half Pint's awesome. So Hornfeather on the main road, who is like legendary slabber. He does jewelry and he's such a sweet man. Like Freeman had a live stream with him one time where he just gives lessons to anyone who comes, and he just really loved what he did and all that stuff. And he's been training Half Pint for a while, and Half Pint's become a really good jewelry maker herself. And he decided to leave the slabs, and she got the Hornfeather camp. So I'm so happy for her. We donated some wire for her today so she can twist some jewelry and stuff. How's the weed supply at the slabs? Woo! It's California. Weed is as easy to get as water, especially in a community like this. You have a lot of hippies, you have a lot of deadheads, you have a lot of rainbow people. Virtually everyone smokes pot out here. There are some that don't. Maybe 20% of us don't smoke, but most people smoke. And if you don't smoke, I know some people who drink and don't smoke. For example, like they drink beer at the range and I smoke pot at the range, and maybe once in a while they'll take a toke of my joint, or maybe once in a while I'll have a single beer out of a 6-pack. But, yeah, you choose your vices out here, I guess. But people share, yeah. Like if I have weed, I share with everyone. And every day, I know that if I didn't have weed for a week, I could smoke every day if I wanted to, because people just, it's no fun to smoke by yourself. Pass it around and stuff. We have breakfast and coffee together, and 20, 30 people at once, and get together as a community and play music. Of course, they're gonna pass the joint around. Like there's a lot of love here. And one of the donations that people give generally is smokables. Like they give you smokables, they give you food and snacks, or they give you like beer. tourists come and they love what you're doing, and or you show them a good time, or you give them a safe place to camp. We don't charge anybody for that stuff. Like, plenty of people come and park their RV on the side of skate park, and we welcome them and watch out for them and make sure they're safe and fed. And yeah, of course they give us weed when they're smoking weed. Like, I mean, I don't do any other hard drugs. I have become a little bit of a drinker since I've been here, but I'm still such a lightweight. Like, it's ridiculous. My mom and both my little sisters can drink me under the table. Like, it's ridiculous. Um, he's over there in his bus. That's awesome too. I'm glad he's in the neighborhood. So much has changed and so much is new for me since I got here. Like, it's good to have stable, old, familiar faces sometimes. That's why I love when the rainbow buses and the gypsy buses come to skate park, because I'm like, oh man, old friends who I haven't seen in 4 months or whatever. We still got a bunch of trolls in here. You write XHTML, HTML5, CSS, JS, and PHP. Dragonetta, that is what I taught in college. Last year, I was teaching in college in New York City, multiple programming languages and artificial intelligence workshops and all kinds of things like that. Like, I'm legit. I'm crazy, but my math works out with my crazy. My shit is self-consistent. People don't understand that. And that's why I said greatness doesn't happen in comfort zones. It doesn't happen. People are like, why did you stop your career to come out here and do this? I'm like, this is my career, motherfuckers. This is my career. Where do you think I built Luna? I built it fucking on bridges and on rooftops in Brooklyn, Port Authority with the homeless people. That's where I built it. Because I see the direct need, right? I'm like sitting here like, how can I help those people? You know? And you lose that when you're removed and you're working in a corporate environment. You slowly shift away from directly helping people, and then you're vaguely helping people, and then you're not helping people at all. I have tons of domains and I have one server left. I could really use a server. Like, man, an AWS account at this point would like be a little bit of a game changer. I burned all of my API calls and I can't afford to pay Google's hosting fees, which is why I build a lot of my own tools, right? Like, I took the time to write my own visual recognition engine, for example, instead of using like IBM or Google, because they charge you for that. And I want to be able to give my product away for free, which means I can't have API server bills, you know? But I would like any kind of server setup. I'm going to actually talk to my friend Robert about that. But yeah, first things first, though, I got to get this thing powered. I got to, get all those laptops formatted properly and get everything networked. And it's a lot of work besides all the things that we're doing at skate park, and besides like what we're talking about, like feeding people. And I've broken up 3 fights in the last 2 days. Like, it's a rough life out here. All right, I don't know, Dragonetta, have you ever contacted me off of here? Because yeah, I could totally like share a bunch of stuff with you if you know that much. In fact, most of my like AI work is written in the languages that you're talking about. Like, I use a lot of cloud application technology rather than the traditional like things that you would use for AI, um, which is what makes that work interesting also. So, in other words, like if you know JavaScript enough to like fetch and retrieve data asynchronously from an API, and you know enough PHP to just like do the basics, then you could totally jump into this artificial intelligence stuff. Like, and I do share with good people. Like, I actually share with a lot of people. A lot of people have my code. Just the people, like not people who are like, how can we get rich from this? there a vodka club at the Slabs? No, but vodka does get passed around. What is your opinion of Ubuntu? So if you ask Val and Stefan over there, they kind of like piss on Ubuntu, but I think Ubuntu's great. Yeah, you might want a more specialized flavor of Linux like Debian or something like that, you know. I mean, I use a super secure version of Tails when I need to, but Ubuntu is a fucking great starter. It introduces people to Linux systems in a way that is familiar to them. Um, so I don't think people should hate on Ubuntu. A lot of people put a lot of work into Ubuntu, and they made it free and open source. So, like, if you don't like it, build your own or shut the fuck up. Yeah, if you could write a PHP program that writes to MySQL, then like of my artificial intelligence brain is built in that manner, like hierarchical XML structures saved in MySQL databases. Yay, let's share some code. Red Hat's good. I'm actually only a basic Linux user like that. Like, as far as like hardware and network administration, I know enough to get myself in trouble a lot. Like Val's way better at that kind of thing than me. But I code in like 15 programming languages or something like that. And I'm great at like analysis and all kinds of other things. So it's good to put our skill sets together. But I'm more of a software guy than a hardware guy. That's what I said, Bill. Ubuntu is bringing people over to Linux, and that's a good thing. It gives them something that feels like Mac and Windows, and then they start to learn how to like update their apps through the command line, and that's your gateway to the drug that is Linux. I'm even, like I said, I'm not that great at Linux at all. I look at the manual a lot. I use the help a lot, but I get in there. I got to do the outside of this trailer. Wow, look how long my battery's lasting. This is like the longest live stream I've ever been able to do. It's amazing. Amazing. So see, this is good things. And this is only the beginning. Looks like my battery is finally starting to die. What I could do, if you give me a second here, is plug it into the solar since the sun is out. There we go. And now flip that thing there. Ah. Yeah, cron jobs would be super helpful to me. Actually, that is a really good thing. Yeah, like I said, first things first, I have to get this space kind of built and operational. But then, yes, we're definitely going to want like Git repos. We're definitely going to, things like that. Like I could use a server real hard right now. I don't even need much, honestly, from it. I could use just a basic lamp stack at this point. Just give me some Apache with SSL, and I'm good. I'm thirsty. Oh. Oh. My family's expecting me to call them, so I'm gonna have to call them. Are you coming out here, Dragonetta? When you coming? Yes, I am still developing Luna. I'm actually the reason I'm building a hackerspace out here, and the reason I came here, one of the primary reasons was to develop my work. So I had like a lot of success doing AI, and I've done conferences and been peer reviewed and things like that. Like I'm doing some legit science. Um, and I get invited to speak at a lot of places and share my code with like people who I would like be in there. The problem was New York City is really expensive, and I really need lab space. So I started several labs just like this. I've done it in Bushwick in a loft. I did it in South Bronx in a warehouse. I did it in Coney Island in a commercial space. I set these kind of hacker spaces up several times, and what inevitably happens is just like my friends who run art galleries, the same kind of thing, or startups, same kind of thing. You guys can be my therapy. So what happens is like I'm paying like anywhere. I had only seen a couple of videos of the people because I didn't care about the people. I heard there were only a few people here and it was a space in the desert that you could just grab some land. So I thought I was gonna be like Luke Skywalker and just build my little robotics factory and maybe stay there for a year or two, right? And like build an off-grid version of my Luna artificial intelligence platform, which is like what I'm, working on. Um, that connects when it can, but can operate offline. And I'm having a hard time with that, obviously. Um, but if I have a nice little lab here, I could do that in a couple of months. You know. Anyway, I'm excited about the progress. For new fancy earring, I found this fancy earring this morning and found it in the street. It's like a face, a negative imprint of a face. Ah, I wonder how much battery I have left. I can't see while I'm on live stream. I look terrible. Can't even believe I go on camera like this. Oh, where is Luna? Luna is mostly on my sandbox server, which is the only server I've been able to keep. um, which I have like a hosting account for and all that stuff, and a lot of it on a couple of those laptops out there. Yeah, the hardest part for me is just having enough power and equipment and a little lab, which I've been actually trying to do out here for a long time, to work on it. That's all I needed was a hackerspace, and like it took me, I'm super ambitious, so for it to take me 9 months and a couple of failed attempts to make a lab, it's like, But then again, when I came out here, I thought about it for a long time. It wasn't a rash decision to come to Slab City. Um, I gave myself a year just to acclimate and build myself a workspace, and I'm 9 months in, so I'm actually 3 months ahead of schedule. I got to look at it that way, but I'm really hard on myself and impatient and intellectually before I got here, I knew it would take a year, and I gave myself a year. But on the ground, I'm very goal oriented and ambitious, and I want it done already. I want a lab already. I want to get a head start. I'm competitive with myself. See some of these crazy comments. Dragonetta wants to learn ASP. I don't like ASP. Yucky. Windows proprietary. Fuck that. Yeah, I got to get in touch with Dragonetta and get some server stuff going. That would be awesome. Especially since you're doing HTML5. When you say doing HTML5, I'm assuming you're doing like at least some manipulation of the canvas tag and dynamic elements and like asynchronously loaded assets. That's advanced JavaScript stuff. Like that's super useful for artificial intelligence. Oh, is that a fake Joanne? That's sad. I like Joanne. I don't like to see fake Joannes on there. I'm gonna have to ban a bunch of people. But yeah, anybody is like, welcome to say hi. We actually get a lot of people from YouTube who at least stop by and say hi. Some of them stay with us. Um, Skate park is a public place, so come visit it. It still does make me feel weird a lot. Like I'll be walking on the main road into Slab City, and somebody will be like, "Lewis, you need to ride to skate park." And I'm like, "Who the hell are you? And how do you know where I live?" And they're like, "We saw you on Facebook, or we saw you on YouTube." Yeah. Um, I think it's cool. At least everyone, the vast majority of people are like, "Yeah, we love you. We saw you, and keep going." Do I have any interactions with Tori? No. I've seen her 2 or 3 times here or there, and but no, I don't have any reason to. I don't hate her or anything. Just you know, why would I? Slab City's a big place, so we mostly keep away from each other. Um, and when we're in the same place at the same time, we just politely ignore each other, which is how it should be. No, I've moved on. She's moved on. You know, I'm really happy with my life right now. I'm gonna have to charge this phone soon. And I don't know how fun this is anyway. But I figured I would test my endurance on the live stream right now and see like how long my phone can do it. And so far so good. I wish I could put my PayPal in the freaking thing so we can finish what we started here. But I guess I'm just gonna put it in the description. I know it might seem like a silly thing, especially for a person who has like owned multiple houses and condos and things like that. But you gotta understand that this is home free. Like I don't pay tax on this. I pay rent on it, which means when I go into that lab over there and I work, I can go directly to helping people. I could go directly to the things I'm most interested in, the problems I'm most interested in solving, and not paying the fucking rent or pleasing some fucking landlord or some corporate slaveholder to make people click on more ads and buy more shit that they don't need. And I was really good at that. I took a lot of money from you people on shit you didn't need. I designed a lot of advertising campaigns in my life. And this is my penance now to spend, if not the rest of my life, then the foreseeable future on projects that are nonprofit, projects that are, mental health related, medical related, humanitarian related. Um, Eventually, I have other YouTube channels that are academic that have way more fans than this. I didn't want to mix the two because I don't need the trolls on here on my other shit. You know what I mean? I don't need that my students to have to deal with those people. I don't, and they don't know. They have no contribution anyway, right? So I've kept my channel separate. Like I never put my personal life. People just always thought, and they're right. I'm just some eccentric traveling like, you know, professor who does this stuff. And they're not wrong, but this is the first time I'm an introvert. It's really hard for me to talk to people. Like you have to be my close friend usually. So I'm trying to treat YouTube as my close friend. And it's also hard because my whole family watches. So like, am I talking to my brother? Am I talking to my son? Am I talking to the troll? Am I talking to my friends who followed me? Am I talking to my students? It's like really hard, harder than you think, especially for an introverted person. But I think it's important that people see the good things that you could do here. And it's not all like, party time and, um, you know, drug abuse and all that kind of stuff. People are doing some amazing things here. Like, if you're impressed with the little shit that I'm doing in skate park, like you need to find other organizations, some of the nonprofit, so many other people. Peter, you know, like I, even younger people like Cornelius and Homo Joe that well because she was away trailer the size of mine, only dedicated to clothing donations. And if there were children here, um, you know, like they're the children of Zion as far as I'm concerned. They're born free. Like they could go into the regular world and know that there are alternatives and know what is important in life, and they're not going to get stuck in the, you know, the rut of giving your life over to profit some corporation or government, or your life is worthless, because that's what they tell you in Babylon, right? If you don't profit a government directly, if you don't profit a corporation directly, then you're worthless. Then that's what we call a job. You know, you're worthless because if you don't profit the corporation, you don't get the money to pay the rent, and the landlord tells you you're worthless, get the fuck out. And lots of people who are not worthless. There are better ways to live, and I don't think it's sustainable, honestly. Um, my life is twice as hard and 10 times as happy. Let me tell you, I've always been a hard worker, and I've always had a really hard life. Um, but man, at least I get something for it out here. You know, at least I get something for it. Uh, I'm tired. Count. How do I make money? I live on very little money. I can start my own business and live on my own terms. Dude, you need to look at my resume. I have started several successful businesses. I didn't come here from the bottom of Babylon. I parachuted up from the top of Babylon. A lot of people, most people in the world, I think, are waiting to be successful, right? Like you, one day you're going to be successful, right? That's how most people feel. I was already successful. I'm on the other side of that mountain. I'm old. I'm. A lot of people tell me I look young, but I'm 43 years old. Like I'm not a spring chicken. I'm very experienced. I've had several successful businesses. I didn't leave Babylon because I was broke or anything like that. I just don't agree with it. It doesn't matter. Yeah, success doesn't happen overnight. I have a fucking illustrious 20 something year career in development. Like I won several industry awards. I fucking teach accredited colleges I run boot camps for veterans on GI Bill, like things like that. Some of my fans are my students actually. Like some people on here maybe were in my class last year. Around. But I was born poor, and they tried to pull me out of my community and say, you're special, you're talented, yeah, you deserve the condo, you deserve the car. Fuck everyone who got you here. Fuck your family, fuck your friends back home who you couldn't have made it here without. And that's how they suck talent out of low income communities. And then you have the image of like everybody there is fucking incapable, like it's their own fault or they're subhuman somehow and they're not as intelligent as you are. And it's because like the fucking devil will tempt you and be like, take all the things for yourself. But I knew I wasn't enamored by that. Even when I worked at NBC, even when I had an office in 30 Rockefeller Center and I look out the window at the Christmas tree, or even when I worked at Samsung or I'm walking around Google or whatever, I need that house. I can't survive without that house. I knew I could survive I knew I could survive just fine with the other things. Like my whole life was like, every joy and friends and relationships and everything I've ever had in my life has been poor until I got successful, right? So I just kind of reject it. I mean, fine, if that's what somebody needs is like little solace in this world, if it makes you feel good to, go to work and have the safety of shelter, I totally understand that. But I have the opportunity to do something else. I'm going to do it. I'm highly capable to do this. It's not for everyone, but I enjoy it and I help a lot of people. That's not a narcissistic thing. Like I literally help a lot of fucking people. Ask around. Come to Slab City. Like ask about me. Maybe you're gonna hear some bullshit slabber jabber here or there, but honestly, like, so many friends here, and it's not because I'm so cool. I'm pretty nerdy actually. It's because I'm so level-headed. It's because I'm so selfless. It's because when someone needs a volunteer, my hand is always one of the first ones up. It's because when I have a pack of cigarettes, that's two for me and 18 for my friends. Like I just like that. Like I'm the nicotine queen around here. I keep a big fucking. Kids taught me that. Like it's a beautiful thing, and the more you do that, the less money you need. People just take care of each other. So I'll fix people's computers. I'll fix the phones. I'll give them equipment that they need or whatever, and they give me blankets or whatever it is. Building materials. Addicted to sugar, caffeine, nicotine, arguably THC. I've actually like I don't go out of my way. I smoke a lot of pot, but I don't go out of my way for it. Like if I can't afford it, or I have something more like important to buy, or it's just like I have to walk a quarter mile to get it, then I kind of like whatever. I leave it alone, you know. On the other hand, I used to take a lot of anti-anxiety medicines, and THC has replaced all of those for me. Um, so that's a good thing, right? Like I'm not super anxious. Like um, I'm not depressed because as hard as my life is, I'm being true to myself, and I won't be. You won't be depressed if you're true to yourself, no matter how hard your life is. Like I know what my limits are. I know how far I could walk. I know how fast I could run. I know how hard I could punch. I know, how long I could hold my breath underwater. Like yeah. Well, we got to choose our good and our bads, don't we? I stay away from all hard drugs and things like that. So out here, smoking cigarettes and weed and an occasional drink is pretty drug free and sober. And even those things, I don't abuse them. You know, I got drunk once by accident out here, and that was it. I found this key in the desert. Oh my god, I look so weird. I don't look at myself. Anyway, this was fun. Uh, Today's Monday night. I'll probably catch Mojo's later. Catch the music circle there. Stay classy. I am classy though. Look at my cute little Babylonian crib. Like lifestyles of the rich and slabulous. Well, Hackerspace is underway. I'll keep making videos about that more specifically as we go along. All right.